Let's look at that main 4-note riff. Okay, so I'm not trying to give you all that glare right there, but it's 8 on the D, 6 on the B string, open G, open little E string. 8, 6, open, open. Okay, so what you do the first time you do that, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So there's 7 sets of threes that you kind of count before you come in again, and it's very free time feeling. So I don't know if they were really on a click or if they just kind of estimated it or had some way of keeping themselves in time. But you're gonna do that 2 times with those big long weights, and then the weight becomes shorter. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So you only wait 3 sets of threes for that one, and the drums come in after 2 times of that, dun, 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 and then that 4th time you hit that, a second guitar hits this C chord up here. So that's 12, 13, and 12 in the bottom 3, like a D shape, and then the riff, and that C again, and then we have. So this new chord is on the 10th fret. It's kind of part of a G minor 7, where this was like a C. So we got. Then we got these power chords. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 1 and. So it's like 10 of those, and then you go bom bom. So I think about it as like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and da dum. Okay, so you can count it however you like, but it's 11 of these and 1 of those. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and bom bom. You got that 10, 11, 10. Okay, then we're gonna get into. So that was the 8, 6, open on the G to the 8th fret of the G, the E flat note, or a D sharp. We're gonna call that D sharp in this case because we were using some other sharps. You could call it an E flat. So that's gonna be the major chord there, 6, 8, 8, 8. So we had 8, and then its chord. 8 down to the 7, so the E flat to the D chord, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and blah, blah. Okay, then we're into the first solo. In that first solo, you keep kind of waiting around. You go. The solo's going along. And then after a couple of times of that, the third one, you're going to go to a C chord here. So you're going to go first 3 notes of the riff. Kind of strum that a little bit, and again. You kind of wait a little bit. Kind of comes back to that G minor, and then you got riff. And then we got. So we're back to the E flat, to the D. So that was a G minor to a G minor major 7, 4 in the D string to a G minor 7, all 3s there, and then 2, G minor 6. So we're coming out of that. G minor, major 7, minor 7, minor 6, to our E flat, D, E flat, D. Then we got G minor, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So this is our new section. So we're gonna have a 1, 2, 3. We're gonna wait, and then we're gonna hit the 3s for this G minor chord top. So we got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. So So on the 3 of that 4th set there, we're gonna go 3 to 5 on the D with this 5 on the B and slide them both back. So it's 1, 2, 3, hit 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, hit 2. So once we get that, we're gonna come back, start a new one. 1, 2, and then the second time we don't hit that riff. So the whole thing of 2 times of this G minor one is gonna be this. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. We go to C minor. 1, 2, 3. So that was the 5, 4, and 3 on the bottom strings. 1, 2, 3, C minor. 1, 2, 3, 1. And we got that 8 to 10 on the D, 10 to 8 on the B going back. And then we're back to a... Got some G minor for a while. Then we're gonna have that D sharp or E flat. D. Do it again. We got G minor, down to C minor, back to G minor, and then we got D7 sharp 9. So that's 5 on the A, then 4, then 5, then 6, and you want to mute the outside strings. D7 sharp 9, and then we're kind of into the solo here, and we go solo 2. So we got that going on. Dun, dun, dun. And then we got the C minor. E flat, D, G minor, C minor, G minor, D raise 9. Okay, so that is that second solo. Then we're going to be into the verse. We got a G minor. So we strum the G minor a little bit. 1, 2, 3. We're going to slide into the 5 on the D, 3 on the G, bend the 5 up and down. So we got, remember when you were young. 4 on the D because that's the F sharp major chord that comes in at that point. And then we're to a B flat or A sharp. So we got. Little rhythmic thing there. Now we got a power chord here, the D sharp to the D, C, B flat, F. So we got a little bend on that 3 on the 5th string. Then we got 1, 2, back to the G minor. There's a little fill in there, so we're going to bend that 6 up and down to the 3, and then on that F sharp chord change, you hit that 2 right there. See, that's in that chord. Okay, then the second time we do those chords walk down and we get down to that F, we have this cool riff. So that was the 13s, 10s, 8s to 10s slide. You could go to the 5, 6 there in those strings, or the 1s down on the bottom string. Okay, and then we're moving on. That's a little fill in there. Then we're gonna have that G minor descending chromatic thing. So we got, and it's got this little fill with it. So you would have just like to the 4, to the 3, to the 2. But with the fill in there, you got like. 3, 5, 6. So let's look at that again. We got G minor. Then you got. So if you didn't play the chords, you'd just be like. So 5 on the D, 3, 5 on the G, bend it up, and then 4 down here. And then 3, hold that one, down to the 2 there. Then you're gonna go 3, 5, 6 on the A string. So that slides in, ring finger, 8 to 10 on the A. Hit those 8s in the middle strings there. Do one of those little kind of hammer-on, pull-off, Hendrixy things. Here we're going to be on an A7 chord. I'm going to go from the 5th string, so 7, 5, 6, 5, and back. And then B flat major chord. We're going to go starting on the 5th string, 8, 8, 7, 6, 7, 8. And then we have one of those type things. So there's a couple options on that. There's like one option in a tab I saw said, so it said D bass to the 1 from a D minor chord back to the bass, and then a 2, 3, 2. I was kind of trying to hear it myself before I found that tab, and it was sounding like one of those things like a D7, like a D bass, and then a 5, 3, 2. And then I brought an F sharp into the bass on the 4th fret of the D string. One of those kind of things like. That's how I got it written in the tab. It's like first 3 strings, and then the 2, 3, and then bringing the bass all the way to the top. So it's like do, dee, do, ba, do, da, and then you're in G minor. Okay, then there's a solo right there. And then you're into the next verse. So that solo is 5 on the G string. Hold it, and then down. Pull it off and come back up. And then you're going to do a half step on this, making it sound like the 6th fret instead of the 7th. So you got 3, 5, little bend again to the 3 on the 2nd string, and then 3, 4, 6, half step bend on the 8, down to the 8. Same thing on the 7 of the G string. And then we're going to be down here in this 4 in the 2nd string. We're going to bend it, pull it off to that 5, and then bend on that big G to the 1, and then we got another verse. So once again, that was. Verse. So that time we got a 3 bend on the 5th to the 3, and then the big bend on the 3. And then we got another verse. So this fill on this one is like a 6 on the 2nd string. Couple bends on that, and then a 6, 3. And then 3, 5, 3 on the G. And then we're into that G minor descending. Then we move into a sax solo here, starting on that G minor again. We're going to come into our riff, and this is going to lead us into that last big arpeggio thing of this tune. So we do that one, we wait a while, and then you got some options on how to finger this cool thing here at the end. You could go like this. So you could keep this 8-6 open the way we had it and just bring in the pinky on this 8 and 10, or you could flip it like this. So that's a stretch right here, which is a little difficult, but if you can reach that, and you start on the bottom, 0, 6, 8 on the D. You come to the 8 down there, so it's 8, 6, 8, 10, 6, 8, 8, 6, 8. And that's one pattern. So open, 6, 8, 6, that's your pattern. Now if you wanted to do it the other way, you'd be. Might be a little easier this way, because it's less of a stretch with that middle finger. You just got to move that pinky back and forth. So once again, that was open on the bottom, and then 6 on the second, and 8 on the fourth. So. So that does that 10 times. Let's say we're doing the 9th and 10th. Now we're going to switch here. We're going to go. So what we do is basically it's kind of a thing like. So it's kind of the same picking. First 2 strings, then the D. So take this down. Now the one thing interesting it does, it double hits the high note, so it goes. So instead of hitting the first 2, it goes. And then it resumes the normal. Then we go down 1 fret. This time we go 6, 5, 4, 5. So let's look at these 2 new ones we got. Then we're back to. So you do that 10 times again, then we got. And then. And then we're back to the first one. And we do that one like 10 or 12 times and it fades out. So that's about it. That was Shine On You Crazy Diamond. This was guitar lesson part 2. This had all the rhythms. If you haven't seen the one with the 3 long, epic Dave Gilmour solos all broken down, and go check out that video next. Hope y'all like this stuff. Great stuff by Pink Floyd, David Gilmour, Roger Waters, Richard Wright has great stuff in there. Nick Mason on the drums. Excellent stuff. So talk to you soon. Thanks for watching. See you later. All right, this lesson is going to be the guitar solos, David Gilmour's guitar solos from Pink Floyd's Shine On You Crazy Diamond. So the first solo happens at 1 minute 54 into the song, and it's going to be up here in the 18th fret. I'll do the first little part and then show you how to do it. So it's going to be. Let's look at that much. So we got the 18th fret of the 2nd string. We're going to bend it up, vibrato, and then regular note in the 18, back up. So it's like. And you kind of go down to the normal note, and then you go all the way back up to the bent note and hit it there. So that one's going to go 17 on the D. 15, 17 on the G. So same kind of thing. You got your bend up, then you got your regular note back to bent up. So. And then we're going to have a downwards bend. And that's where the chord changes. So the main chords of this is G minor, and then that first change that just happened there, that would be a D minor. The other chords are C minor, back to G minor, and then later you'll have like a D minor to C minor, back to D minor, C minor, actually back to D minor, and then G minor. So those are the underlying chords if you want to know. So once again, we got... And then we're going to go down. And then we're going to have... So that was 10, 11, 10 on the B string. And that's 12 on the G, back to 10th fret of the B string. And then 10, 10, 12, 10. That's on the G and D strings there. So wait a second and then go. So you do a bend on the 12, like a whole step bend, normal bend, and then an extra half a step, 1.5 step. And then we're going to go down on this one. So it's going to be. And then one more of these. 10, 12, 12. Then we're going to come up to the 17 on the G string. So we bent the 17 up, hit the 18 on the second string, and then bent it. Then we're going to bend that again. And then we hit the 15 and the 18 on the bottom string. So these new things are... So we're going to bend that 18 on the little string up and down. Little half step bend on that 17. And then 12 on the D to 10 and 12 on the G. So let's look at everything we got so far. We got... Ten, 11 thing. And then up to the 17. You can kind of slide that one down. Half step on that third string, 17 to 15, and then 12, 10, 12. Then we're going to have... So that's going to be a 1.5 step bend on the G string 12th fret. Then we hit that 11, which is the same note when you bend that up. And we bend that one up again and down. 10, 12. You might pick both of those. So. And then we're on 17 here in the G. We're going downwards bend. And then we're going to bend that 17. And to the 18 on the second. And then we're going to take that 18. So we bend it up, hit the little 15, and bend it again. Then we're going to bend this again. Pull it off to the 15. Bend that 17 up on the G. And then downwards bend. That time we're going to hit that one twice. Fourth string, we got a hammer on. 15 to 17. To the 15 there. And then we go downwards bend. That's going to be the 15 on the second string. 17 downwards. And then bend. 18. And then. Now we're going to bend the 17. So that time we bent it, hit the 18 below it, bent it again. Then we're going to go. That's that 18 on the second bend again. Little 15. We got that 18 on the bottom. 15 on the second string. We went 18 to 20 and bent the 20, and then we got bending the 18. 17, 18, 15. So let's look at that whole solo we got. And that 10, 11 thing. Up to 17. Then we got this big bend. Downwards on the 17. Up to the 18. Hammer. Okay, so that's the first solo from Shine On You Crazy Diamond. So let's take a look at the second solo. Okay, so that'll get us going. So the first thing is we got this 8th fret of the small string, bend it. 6, 8, 8. So 6, 8, 8. So we got 3 on the second to 3 on the first. 6 on the second. Bend the 5 on the G string. Take it down and pull it off. Dee-da-doom. 5, 3, 5 there. So we got. And then we're jumping way up here. We've got first finger on the 15th fret. We're going to take this 18 on the small one and pull it off. So we pull it off and then go to the second string, 15th fret. Down to the 18 on the small one. And that's a half step bend up on the 17, back to 17. And then we got 18, 15, 18. Bend that one. And then we're going to go downwards to the 18 there. Then we're going to go. So that was 2 of those pull-offs. And then bend that 18. And then downwards, pull off to the 15. So that was little 18 and bending the second 18. I put a different finger in there for that one. So this whole thing would be. Now we're going to have this 15th fret of the G. So that's a 1 step down and up to a 2 step. And then we got 12 in the G, 11 and back. And then we got this descending riff. So that's G string, quick slide, 6 to 5, to the 3, to the 5 here on the D string, and then that's 4, 3, 1 on the A. Slide into that 5. So you got. And then slide back into that. That was 3, 3 on the G to D to the 5 right there. So we got. And then you go bop, hit that 3 there in the G string. Now we're sliding in G string into the 7, and then little string 6, 6, 8 on the second. And then we go. So that's a little half step on the 10th fret, pulling off to the 8, 10 on the G, 8, slide into the 11 at the end. And then we're going to have. So we do an 11 right there on the second string, and then we do a bend up and down and up again. And then we're going to bend it extra. So we're going to bend that 13 up a step and a half a few times. To the 11 of the G string, we're going to go. So that's hammer on, pull off, 11 to 12. Slide down to 9 and back to 11. And then we're going to go. So this is going to be the 18 on the second with the 15 down here. We're bending the 18 away from that. Then hit the 15. And then do that bend thing again, but pull off to the 15. So. And we're going to do the bend again, hit the 15 again. So. So that's like a little 17, half step and back, bend the 18, and then. So that was a downward, back to the 18, bend the 17, and you have that kind of at the end there. So we got. Then we're going to go. So that was D string 5, 3, 5 in the G. Step and a half on that one, so we got 3 to 5, regular bend there on the 5, and then so bend the 5 regular again, 3, 6 on the B, extra. So when you do that extra one again, downwards, 3, 5, 3 on the second string. So that whole solo we got. And then that descending thing. Little half step. To that 11. That little riff there, and you got. Let me go low. Okay, so that was the second solo from Shine On You Crazy Diamond by David Gilmour. Okay, here's the third solo by David Gilmour from Shine On You Crazy Diamond, Pink Floyd. So we're going to have kind of peps up a little bit before this solo. So let's look at those first licks. So we're going to have 15 and 15. We're going to bend that. We've been bending that 18 a whole lot on this one, right? Second string, 18th fret. So we got 15, 15, and then 18 bend. Hit that little 15. Pull off there. Back to the bend. So you got. Then we're going down low. So we've had that riff before in different solos. So 3, 3, 6, bend the 5, and then downwards, 5, 3, 5. We're going to do this 15, 1, and then 2 step bends again. So that was that same kind of slide into the 12, use the 11 on the second string and back. Then we're going to go 18 up here to the 18 below it. Then we're going to wait a while and we go. So that was a slide on the D string, ring finger, 10 to 12. 11 to 10 pull off on the B to the 12th fret of the G. So let's take that solo again. Let me kind of wait and do that riff down here. So we have a quick hammer here in the D string, down to the G string, 15. So a downwards bend, and then a pull off. Dun, 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 dun. So we have a couple of staccato notes. So that part is. And then we got. So we got the 2 3s down here to the 6 on the second string. Bend up and down to the 5 on the G. Kind of bend that 3 there up and down. And then you got 3 5 3. So the end of that was like 5 5 on the G to D, 3 to 2 on the G, and then 3 3 on the D, 3 on the A, up to the 5 on the A. So we got. And then we're going back to the sliding into that one. 3 3 5 like we did before, one of the other solos. Then we got the one of those guys again. Then we got. Here's where he accidentally kind of, I don't know if it's accident. It sounds really cool though, so they kept it. But he has this bend up, and then you hear the open G string, and then so you got. So we got the bendy bend. Then we have a bend on the 18. We go to the 15. Pull off the 18, 15. We got that G again. So we got. So we had the 18 up, and we let it come down. Let it pull off, and then 18, bend that second string 18. Then we have 12 on the G, 11 and 13. Big one. 2 of those down to that 11. Then we have that. This one could even be kind of like. And then you do a little harmony there. He has a little third going on in that. And then you got the 12 and 11. Take them back 1 and back up. So we got. So that's our same kind of thing. 3 3 6, bend to 5, downwards. So that was a dee da dee da doo da doom, and then 4 to 3 to 1, 3 to 5, and that's the end of that solo. So let's take a look again. We got. And then that double. Go down low. Wide. 11. Then a little harmony. Downward. All right, solo number 3, David Gilmour. Some amazing stuff. Pink Floyd, Shine on You Crazy Diamond.